Hello friends, let's discuss current affairs. The first question relates to the Indian economy's size. According to the Standard and Poor's global projection, India is set to become the third largest economy by 2030. Now, estimates vary. This is an estimated projection. These are all what are called conjectures, guesses, guesstimates. Now, this is subject to a lot of ifs and buts. Basically, these kind of projections are subject to, this kind of realizations are subject to a lot of ifs and buts, assumptions like political stability, global energy markets, how stable they are, there is no disruption in supply, climate change is a factor, elsewhere the state of the global economy. So there's a lot of parameters when we talk of this kind of projection. But as such, which is the world's largest economy? And before that, how do we measure this? We measure the size of an economy by its GDP, that is gross domestic product. Usually we say gross, but we should pronounce it as gross domestic product. See, gross domestic product is the sum total, it's the money value of all goods and services produced in one country in 1 year. To repeat, gross domestic product, GDP, is the money value of all goods and services produced in one country in 1 year. Now, India last year produced goods and services worth $3.7 trillion. 1 trillion equals 1,000 billion. So when we say 3.7 trillion, we mean 3,700 billion. So as of today, it is $3,700 billion. It is likely to go up to more than $5 trillion, so that is $5,000 billion by 2028, and likely to be around $7.5 trillion or $7,500 billion by the end of this decade. Now again, as I said, this is pure conjecture. Now let me give you a lowdown on the top 5 largest economies in the world. If you have a pen and paper, please write. I'll give you a dope on the rank, the country, and the size of the GDP. So you could write world's top 5 economies by GDP. Underline that, and you could I always insist on underlining keywords because they get highlighted that way. And I usually, as you would have seen in all of my videos, I insist on folks writing, because when we write, we tend to remember things much better. Okay, before this class I write. Before I come down to speak in front of you, I write so that I remember better. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, to begin with, the world's top 5 largest economies by GDP. Now, the 3 columns should be rank, country, and GDP in billion dollars. Let's make it billion dollars. It's easy. Or shall we make it trillion dollars? If it's trillion dollars, you please know that in brackets you should write 1 trillion equals 1,000 billion. Okay, that kind of clarity should be there, my friends. And rank, first rank, US, $27 trillion. $27 trillion. So at the top, if you write GDP in dollar trillion, right below that you have to just write numbers, nothing more than that. Okay, so 27 for the US. It's actually 26.95. We rounded it to 27. To China, 17.7. 3, Germany. This is the first time Germany has become the 3rd largest economy, overtaking Japan. So Germany, 4.43. 4, Japan, 4.23. 5, India, 3.73. So ladies and gentlemen, to repeat, US $27 trillion, 2, China $17.7 trillion, 3, Germany 4.43, 4, Japan 4.23, 5, India 3.73. So we've been growing faster than most countries in the world. Like China, Japan is not growing much. Japan is likely to grow around 1.3% this year. So 1.3% of $4.3 trillion is what they are going to add in additional GDP this year. Germany is going to shrink. It's likely to experience minus growth, minus percentage growth. I think it's minus 0.3%. America is likely to grow around 1.6%. China, they haven't. They in the beginning of the year mentioned 5% growth, but it's unlikely they will reach that number. Okay, because China's economy is in a free fall. It's going down. Okay. But this is how it is, my friends. So we are growing around in the first half of this year, the first 6 months, we grew at 7.6%. So if we continue to grow like that, it's unlikely we will grow at the same pace in the second half. But let's take 7.5% or overall 7%, which would mean that we're going to add 7% of $3.73 trillion as additional GDP this year. So by the end of the year, our GDP would be $3.73 trillion plus 7% of $3.73 trillion. Okay, so hopefully we go past the Germans and the Japanese and become the third largest economy. Safina Hussain, founder of Educate Girls, became the first Indian woman to bag the Wise Prize worth 5 lakh US dollars, that's about 3.7 crore, for getting 14 lakh girls back to school. This prize is awarded by the Qatar Foundation. I actually went to Qatar Foundation website, and I found a profile of Safina Hussain there. And on YouTube, I found a video of the Wise Prize committee, which came up with this video featuring a profile of Safina Hussain. Deeply inspiring, my friends, deeply inspiring. She had been round the world. She had studied at the London School of Economics, and then she enrolled. She started working for NGOs in America, in Bolivia, in Ecuador, that is in South America. And now she's in India, and she's spreading the good word about education, getting our girl children back to school. Wonderful work. I would suggest you look up Safina Hussain on YouTube. There is a 6-minute video I found. Terrific video. Yeah, she's changing the lives of millions of girl children, millions of households, my friends. When we say 14 lakh girls, it's just not 14 lakh girls. There are families behind these girls. Yeah. And by the way, Qatar is a very tiny country. Just to bring in a little about Qatar, my friends. Qatar is a very tiny country. It's about 11,000 square kilometers, 11,500 square kilometers. This tiny country is home to a total population of about 28 lakh. 28 lakh is the total population of Qatar. But of these 28 lakh, the citizens of Qatar number only 3.1 lakh. Just 3.1 lakh. The rest, take 3 lakh Qatar citizens and 28 lakh total population. So 25 lakh people are non-Qatari people, non-Qatari expatriates. That is, people from all over the world have come to work in Qatar. Yeah. So that's Qatar, my friends. Let's go past this. Qatar is going to host the 2030 Asian Games. 2030 Asian Games in the capital Doha, D-O-H-A. Saudi Arabia is going to host 2 major events. One would be the Asian Games in 2034. Summer Asian Games in 2034 in Riyadh, R-I-Y-A-D-H, Riyadh, the capital. And the 2029 Winter Asian Games. Yes, the Winter Asian Games will be held in Saudi Arabia in 2029 in a place called Trojena, T-R-O-J-E-N-A, Trojena. To repeat, 2029 Winter Asian Games will be hosted in Trojena, T-R-O-J-E-N-A, in Saudi Arabia. They're going to build an entire snow city, my friends. How? Let's see. Identify the correct statements. All of these are correct. The Indian Navy Day is observed on December 4th. Now, why December 4th? Because on this day, in 1971, during the Indo-Pakistan War over Bangladesh, India launched Operation Trident, Trishul, T-R-I-D-E-N-T, Trident, Operation Trident. In this operation, we attacked the Karachi harbor, Karachi port, and sank, the Indian Navy sank four, Pakistani ships. Four Pakistani ships were sunk by the Indian Navy, and which also killed hundreds of Pakistani, Navy men. This is the reason why December 4th is Indian Navy Day. To repeat, on December 4th, 1971, India launched Operation Trident, in an attack on the Pakistani port city of Karachi, and sank four Pakistani naval vessels. Why International Day of Banks? Okay, let me bring in one more thing. Not the third one, the second one. International Day of Banks on December 4th. Why? See, this is the day when, this is a UN Day, United Nations Day, when the United Nations acknowledges, when people around the world acknowledge the important role played by multilateral development banks, other international banks like the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, in promoting sustainable development, so we got, I think, Navy Day and International Day of Banks. Let's get past this. According to a report published by the National Crime Records Bureau, which of the following has emerged as the safest city in India for the third consecutive year? Kolkata. Oh, it's a very, very cool place, except that it's a bit crowded. It is, because it's historically has been a magnet for the region, my friends. Calcutta is India's safest city, especially for women, and it has had the least number of cognizable offences per lakh population. That's how they record. They evaluate the city's safety based on the number of cognizable offences per lakh population. So in this case, Kolkata has had the lowest number of cognizable offences per lakh population. And coming to number 2, it is Pune. Number 3, Hyderabad. So 3 safest cities in India in that order: Calcutta, Pune, Hyderabad. My city, Hyderabad. Which city has had the highest crime rate? New Delhi. No guesses, no prizes for guessing this one. Delhi has had the highest number of cognizable offences. Okay, so that's Delhi, India's most, you could say, city with the highest crime rate. And state-wise, which is India's most crime-prone state? Kerala. Kerala has had the highest number of, cognizable offences. State-wise, Kerala. City-wise, Delhi, most unsafe. But the other 3, Kolkata, Pune, Hyderabad, in that order from the bottom, are India's safest cities. India was ranked dash in the 2023 World Digital Competitiveness Index. Now, what does this index measure? This index or ranking measures the capacity and readiness of different economies, to adapt and enable digital technologies to promote economic development, sustainable development, and all that stuff. Okay, so the idea is to promote, it measures capacity and what we said, readiness of an economy, to adapt, enact policies that would promote social and economic transformation. That's the basic idea. And India ranks 49 out of 64 countries. India ranks 49th. The top 3 countries you could write if you want to. 1, US, the world's most digitally competitive country is US. 1, US. 2 is that Netherlands. 3, Singapore. So top 3: US, Netherlands, Singapore. India rank 49. 64th, last rank, Venezuela. 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 Okay. Oh, there is this question again. Which country tops the 2023? We mentioned United States. United States. Second we mentioned is Netherlands. Third is Singapore. Is there anything that we could write about this? Ireland, you could write. The capital is Dublin. 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 Okay. Denmark's capital is Copenhagen. Usually I don't give capitals, but today different thing. Copenhagen. Copenhagen. Singapore City is the capital. United States, Washington DC. Switzerland doesn't have a capital. I told you in the previous class, there are only 2 countries in the world that do not have a capital. One is Switzerland, the other is Nauru, the tiny Pacific island of Nauru, Nauru, Nauru. But by law, there is no capital in Switzerland, but by fact, the capital is Bern, B-E-R-N, Bern. Okay, that is where the government sits. The world's first portable hospital named Arogya Maitri 8 Cube was unveiled in Gurugram, Haryana. Now, this is a portable, a hospital which could be taken to disaster, prone areas or areas that where there has been a disaster. It can be rebuilt. This entire cube hospital, portable, cube could be rebuilt in just 1 hour. So it can be made up and running in just an hour, my friends. So this kind of hospitals, portable hospitals, can do a lot of good in in areas that have been impacted by cyclones, droughts, flash floods and all that. Okay, let me give you one institute's name in Dehradun. It is Forest Research Institute. Forest Research Institute. Dehradun Forest Research Institute. Forest Research Institute. Pune is home to the National Film Archive of India. National Film, FILM, Film Archive of India. Chennai Central Leather Research Institute. Central Leather Research Institute. Kolkata Anthropological Survey of India, Botanical Survey of India, Geological Survey of India, Indian Statistical Institute, plenty of this. Okay, Indian Statistical Institute, if you want to pick just one. Rooftop solar installations in India registered a significant increase year on year to about 431 megawatts in the July to September quarter. In this context, which Indian state continues to lead in rooftop solar installations? Gujarat. The government policy is such that they promote, they give a lot of subsidy and everything. So Gujarat has 27% of India's total rooftop installations. That's a big number. Top 3 would be Gujarat, second is Maharashtra, third is Rajasthan. So Gujarat number 1, number 2 Maharashtra, and number 3 Rajasthan. From which country did Beryl Vanesangi get elected as the youngest MLA of the state at the age of 32 in the recently concluded assembly elections? Mizoram. She she won from the Aizawl South constituency. Aizawl South constituency. There are 3 constituencies. It's called Aizawl South 3 constituency. And she belongs to a party called Zoram People's Movement. Zoram, Z-O-R-A-M. Z-O-R-A-M. Zoram People's Movement. It's a new political party. Zoram People's Movement. Okay. India observes Mahaparinirvan Divas every year on December 6th in memory of the passing away of Baba Sahib Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. B stands for, Bhim, and R for Rao. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. Bhim Rao, sorry, B for Bhim Rao, R for Ramji. I'm sorry, my friends. B for Bhim Rao, R for Ramji. So Bhim Rao Ramji Ambedkar. Baba Sahib was born on 14th April 1893 sometime, and he passed away, 1893, and he passed away on 6th December 1956. Okay. Baba Sahib studied, in abroad. He had 2 PhDs. Beat that, just, this is, when I say just, this is just baffling. Okay. I mean, it's, to get 1 PhD stuff, he got 2 PhDs. An extraordinary man. And Baba Sahib, embraced Buddhism, and in Buddhism, the passing away of a very great soul, especially like Bhagwan Gautam Buddha. When he passed away, he's, that day in Buddhism is celebrated as Mahaparinirvan Day. So is the case with the passing away of Baba Sahib. When he passed away, his death anniversary is now being celebrated as Mahaparinirvan Divas. I said celebration because it's a kind of a celebration. The great man brought a lot of good to a lot of people. So he was the father of India's constitution. He was the chairperson of the drafting committee of India. He was the first law minister of India between 47 and 51. In 51, he resigned from the cabinet. Okay, so 47 to 51, he was the first law minister of India. Okay, and his resting place, after he passed away, there is this resting place, Samadhi, called Chaitya Bhumi. What is it called? Chaitya Bhumi. Yeah. He was also a prolific writer. He wrote this great book called India and the Partition of Pakistan. India and the Partition of Pakistan and the Partition of India. Pakistan and the Partition of India. And he also wrote this book, The Rise and Fall of Hindu Women. The Rise and Fall of Hindu Women. All his life he had championed women's education, women's empowerment and all that. Okay. Let me tell you something about. I mentioned that the resting place of Baba Sahib is Chaitya Bhumi. It's in Bombay. Okay, Jawaharlal Nehru. Chaitya Bhumi is for, if Chaitya Bhumi is for Baba Sahib. Jawaharlal Nehru's Shanti Van. The resting place is called Shanti Van. VAN. Indira Gandhi Shakti Sthal. Shakti Sthal. Mahatma Gandhi Rajghat. Rajghat. Now, we do not know the whereabouts of the body, you could say. Where did Netaji pass away? We have no clarity, and India has had about 14 commissions inquiring into the circumstances surrounding the death of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Consequently, there is no resting place for the great man. As per a report released by the Swedish think tank SIPRI, SIPRI is Stockholm, that's the name of Swedish capital, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, which Indian Defence PSU figured in the list of the top 100 arms producing companies. All of them, my friends. Okay. So, not much for me to discuss here, except that the Tejas aircraft and the Dhruv advanced light helicopter are made by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Okay. Majgan Docks builds ships for Indian Navy. Which institution backed the ESA Vision Zero 2023 awarded the recently held 23rd World Congress on Safety and Health at Work in Sydney? So the World Congress on Safety and Health at Work was held, gave away the ESA Vision Zero prize, and that has gone to the Employees State Insurance Corporation, ESIC. Okay, I wrote this from from the Press Information Bureau of India website. I copied that. ESSEC had great success in outreach, so they've been very good in terms of outreach to promote health and to minimize what we say accidents in the workplace, especially in the workplace and all. So look at choice C, National Institute of 3, choice 3, National Institute of Virology. It's in Pune. It is in Pune. Forbes magazine released its annual 20th annual ranking of the world's most powerful women, arranged the following in the descending order. All of them in the order in which they are mentioned. They are the 5 most powerful women in the world. The most powerful is the European Union Commissioner. You could write European Union President Ursula von der Leyen. You know who are these persons? So choice A, Ursula von der Leyen. President of European Union, President of European Union Commission, but European Union. Christine Lagarde, Chairperson of European Central Bank. European Central Bank. Kamala Harris, Vice President of the US. Vice President of the US. Choice D. Meloni is the Prime Minister of Italy. Prime Minister of Italy. Choice E. Taylor Swift. Superstar singer. Superstar singer. She is fabulous. Okay. Hey, by the way, have there been any Indian women in the list of the most powerful women? Yes, there have been 4 women. If you want to write 4 women, ranks 32, Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister of India. Rank 32, Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister of India. So, rank 32, Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister of India. Rank 60, 60, Roshni Nadar Malhotra. Roshni Nadar, NADAR hyphen Malhotra. Chairperson of, you could write, Chairperson of HCL Group. HCL Group. Next one. 70. Soma Mondal, MONDAL, Soma Mondal, ex-chairperson of Steel Authority of India Limited, SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited, and 76th rank, Kiran, Kiran, Kiran Majumdar, MAZUMDAR, Kiran Mazumdar hyphen Shah, SHAW, yes, SHAW, Kiran Mazumdar Shah. Okay, she is a chairperson of Biocon, BIOCON, India's biggest biotechnology firm, Biocon. So there are 4 women. Okay. In which country was the 4th edition of the annual ASEAN India Grassroots Innovation Forum launched? Malaysia. So the idea behind this AIGIF is to promote, strengthen partnership in science, technology and innovation. 3 things: science, technology and innovation. Okay. Malaysia has 2 capitals. This time I'll focus only on capitals. Malaysia has 2 capitals. One is Kuala Lumpur, KUALA. I repeat, KUALA, Kuala Lumpur, 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 Kuala Lumpur, and Putrajaya, PUTRAJAYA, Putrajaya. Philippines capital Manila, 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 Manila. Myanmar, the capital is Naypyidaw, Naypyidaw. To repeat, Naypyidaw. Indonesia, Jakarta, Jakarta, Jakarta. India's capital is, of course, New Delhi. Which country scrapped the world's first smoking generation ban to fund tax cuts? New Zealand. See, New Zealand imposed this ban to promote a smoke-free country. Not that cigarettes were not sold, they were sold, but in a different way. So they banned this. They banned manufacture, consumption, sale, and distribution of tobacco-related products. But recently, COVID has wreaked havoc on the New Zealand economy. So there is not enough paisa. And this being a welfare state, they need paisa to, to handle the economy. So, ladies and gentlemen, the New Zealand government said that we would need to scrap this tax to be able to generate taxes. Okay. So, world's first generation. Okay, I think that should be fine. What about the choices here? Peru, Turkmenistan, all of these countries have banned smoking in one way or the other, my friends. Peru banned smoking in public places. Turkmenistan, no smoking country it is, my friends. Bhutan, it's a no smoking country. Brazil, some part of Brazil. In fact, Brazil was the first city. Brazil had the city which became the first to implement ban in restaurants and public places. So it's not that New Zealand has done anything extraordinary, but then that's how the media plays. Okay. Noted American diplomat Henry Kissinger passed away recently. He identified the correct statements regarding him. All of them are correct, my friends. He was the National Security Advisor between 1964 and 1969 and 75. He was the United States Secretary of State, which effectively is the foreign minister of that country. The Secretary of State, he was between 1972 and 75. 1972 and 70, no, not 72, 73 to 77. So he was the Secretary of State between 1973 and 1977. National Security Advisor between 1969 and 75. Okay, but you see, he never loved Indians, though he has changed now, given that he is talked about how powerful the current Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, is and all that. But at the time he was with the Richard Nixon government, he once described Indians as, I'm going to use unparliamentary language, do not mind, but these are the words of Henry Kissinger. Okay, he called Indians bastards. That's the exact word he used. And he also called Indira Gandhi by very bad names. He used a very bad word to describe her. So somewhere people like him, though they are lauded by the West, he has been responsible for the deaths of millions of people in Cambodia after approving the Vietnamese operation. So the Americans were there in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and he approved bombing of certain areas in Cambodia, which led to the deaths of lakhs of people. Yeah. But then the Americans are quite different from us. They don't look at them just in a critical way like we do. Under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, the central government will provide free food grains to about 81 crore people and 81 crore beneficiaries for a period of 5 years until the end of 2028. Now, the government of India is going to give away free food grains. Means if I'm eligible under this scheme, I could simply walk into a ration shop, a fair price shop, and then buy rice and wheat. Every month, I get 5 kgs of rice. 5 kgs of rice, my friends. Okay. Some cases 5 kgs, but under the Antodaya scheme, 35 kgs of rice or 35 kgs of wheat is given. So you take some average price of wheat, okay, you know, at today 35 kgs would cost 1371 rupees. I'm talking of the ration shop, okay. 35 kgs worth 1371 rupees is now being given free of cost to people. Around 974 rupees for 35 kgs of rice is given free of cost. So there is 935 for wheat and 1370, take round figure, 1370 for, you know, for rice. So I mean, money is going this way. When the people talk about why is the government borrowing so much, it's going here because this is all subsidy. It's being given free, my friends. So effectively the government is spending money to procure food grains, but it is not collecting anything from the consumer. Okay, so 81 crore people will get free food. This scheme is going to cost over the next 5 years. It's going to cost about, I'm not very sure. It's going to cost about 5 or 6 lakh crore rupees, my friends. It's going to cost more than that because this figure comes from today's numbers, and as prices increase, the prices of wheat and rice increase in the market, the government's cost of procurement would also increase. See, lot of subsidy, which has become the first state to get the highest number of 18 geographical indication certificates in a single day. Uttarakhand, it came out with 18 different geographical locations, geographical identification certificates, and 2 of these would be Kitai, Kitai. Kitai is a kind of wood engraving, okay, and then there is something called Ramnagar lychee fruit, Ramnagar lychee. So that also has a GI now. Okay, a new policy called the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism was introduced to account for carbon emissions from imported goods, which group launched the CBAM, European Union. So what is CBAM? Simple Basha, tax on carbon intensive products, tax on carbon intensive products, in brackets, like cement and thermal electricity, okay. You would know about the first 3. Let's look at African Union. You could write, underline that first point. Idea proposed by CERTE, CERTE declaration in 1999. CERTE declaration 1999. Next, AU, African Union, launched in 2001. Next, head office, though it's called political head office, simply write head office. Addis Ababa, Addis, ADDIS, Addis Ababa, ABABA, Addis Ababa, comma, Ethiopia, ETHIOPIA, Ethiopia. Next, 55 members. Next, Commissioner, AU Commissioner, Musa Faki, Musa, MOUSSA, Musa Faki, FAKI, Musa Faki, of Chad, CHAD, Chad. Okay, look at the last one, Mercosur. This is a Spanish name for what is called the Southern Common Market. dash South America, South America. Dash 5 members, 5 members. Brazil, Argentina, Brazil, Argentina. Uruguay, 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 comma, Paraguay, 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 and Bolivia, Bolivia, Bolivia. It's a new member, Bolivia. The World AIDS Day is observed on December 1st every year. The theme for this year is Let Communities Lead. See, if a person is infected by HIV, which is human immunodeficiency virus, okay, this virus, the advanced stage of this virus is called AIDS. A person infected with HIV does not necessarily immediately become AIDS victim. Please know that it takes a long time. It's a full-blown case. As of today, number of persons with AIDS varies, but it is believed to be between 6.4 crores to 11 crores. 6.4 crores to 11 crores. Okay. Who of the following persons became India's third female chess grandmaster and 84th grandmaster? This is Ramesh Babu Vaishali. Now, what is special about Vaishali? See, Vaishali and her brother Ramesh Babu Pragnananda are the only grandmaster brother sister pair, only grandmaster brother sister pair in the world. So in the entire world, this is the only grandmaster pair of brother and sister. Okay. See, the winner of the top 6 players of World Championship make it to candidates. There is a tournament called the candidates. Pragnananda has already qualified. Now Vaishali has also qualified. So they are the only brother-sister pair to have qualified for the candidates matches. Extraordinarily hardworking persons, my friends. That's why they are where they are. Yeah. Days and days, weeks and weeks, years and years of practice. Which country's president approved a significant increase in military spending that will see around 30% of fiscal expenditure directed towards the armed forces in 2024? Vladimir Putin has done this. So I want you to write this. Top 5 countries by military expenditure. Top 5 countries by military expenditure. Top 5 countries by military expenditure. So rank, country, expenditure. 3 columns. Rank 1, US, $877 billion. $877 billion. Next, rank 2, China, 292. Then rank 3, Russia, 86.4. Rank 4, India, 81.4. Rank 5, Saudi Arabia, $75 billion. So to repeat, US, rank 1 US, 877. Rank 2, China, 292. Rank 3, Russia, 86.4. Rank 4, India, 81.4. And rank 5, Russia, 75. Identify the next generation artificial intelligence system recently launched by Google, Gemini AI. I'm not going to spend time here. Identify the correct statements regarding the QS World University Ranking Sustainability 2024. So all of them are correct, but I want you to write that of the 4 Asian universities, look at the last point. 4 Asian universities rank among the world's top. I can give you the name of the most important one. Highest ranked is 22nd. See, University of Toronto is world number 1 in sustainable, being a sustainable university. But when it concerns Asia, you could write rank 22, University of Tokyo, University of Tokyo, University of Tokyo. Then comes, don't write, then comes National University of Singapore, then comes, what is that Korean thing here? Seoul National University, SEOUL, Seoul National University. And the last one in our Asian list is Nanyang Technological University, Nanyang, NYANG. Name the landmark judgment that laid down the basic structure doctrine of the Constitution of India, delivered in 1973 by a Supreme Court bench of 13 judges, released in a video in 10 languages on its website. Keshavananda Bharati case. See, Keshavananda was a saint, a sadhuji. He was a Pitadipati of a particular matha in Kerala. He filed a case against the government of India, wherein he challenged a few things. But then the court said that it came out what is called the basic structure doctrine. It came out with what is called the basic structure doctrine. Now, the court said that there are certain principles, certain aspects of the Constitution of India which cannot be violated, which are inviolable. That's the term. There are certain aspects of the, within the framework of the Constitution of India which are inviolable, inviolable, and hence cannot be changed by the Parliament. So certain aspects like secularism, sovereignty, socialism, they cannot be changed by the people. They cannot be changed by an amendment. So this case said that certain things in the Constitution are pretty important, and hence they cannot be changed by law. And this judgment also helped, define the basic structure of the Constitution of India. The basic structure of the Constitution of India. So even if the Parliament brings in a law that could violate, certain aspect of the Constitution of India, if it's basic aspect, then it cannot be held legal. No law is legal if it violates the Constitution of India. Okay? That's all from me, Bharat C. Jain. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious. Thank you.